Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Kansas Speedway here in Kansas City, Kansas, where tonight, round number 10 of the Blacktop Rivalz Series presented by Caldecott Millwright Services has just taken the green flag, and we are green for 120 laps here at the Kansas Speedway. This racetrack, a mile and a half in length, 120 laps the distance. Tonight's stage break will be at lap number 60. And leading lap number 1 after starting on the pole position is Trent Ringler in the 5-Star Racing 26 car. Trying to go for 3 wins in a row and 3 wins out of the last 4 races is Ringler. In the 26, John Schweikart, who started in position number 4, has quickly moved up to the 2nd spot. Tom Senchek currently running in 3rd aboard car number 8. Claude Furland in the 43 runs 4th. And right now Alex LeBay, who started 5th on the grid, rounds out your top 5 in the Can-Am sponsored 36. Just behind him is teammate Will LaRue in car number 55. The LaRue Esports, LaRue Snowblowers 55 machine. Everybody working along that high line and then bringing it all the way down to the apron and well down to the apron, almost all the way to the grass, as we've got a battle for the top spot here going through turns 1 and 2. And that is the battle for P1. That is Trent Ringler and John Schweikart. It looked like Ringler got awfully close to the concrete barrier going into turn 1 last time by, but he was able to keep the spot and keep Schweikart at an arm's reach back to him. As they will come down to the line, put lap number 4 on the board here. First fuel run of the night. Remember the tire rule here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series. 2 sets of tires for these drivers out here. I imagine a lot of these drivers, as we have seen in weeks past, will stretch those tires on the first 2 fuel runs to go as far as they can, maybe up to the stage break before they take on tires. Of course, the yellow flags falling will dictate that as well, as we've been clean and green here for the first 5 of this one here tonight. As we get a look at the distance there, and you can see them running right together, 1 and 2. Last time by was 2.5 tenths of a second back to Schweikart. They've got a good distance, about 9 tenths of a second from Schweikart back to Senchek in the 8. And now you're going to ride on board here with Senchek in the Widow Jane sponsored number 8 car. I'm sure Senchek will be enjoying a nice Widow Jane after this race is over. Senchek's had a pretty good season here so far. 2 race wins on the year, coming back to back. And we've long told the story of Tom Senchek. Always a bridesmaid last season here on the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Finally broke that streak here in 2020. Schweikart's got 2 wins on the season as well aboard the 1 car. 2 wins in a row here for Ringler in the 26, and that's really kind of helped him out in the point standings. He got off to such a low start this season that the 2 wins have brought him up to 17th place in the standings coming in tonight. But here comes Schweikart trying to make a run here for the lead, right up to the back bumper. Now he'll peel down onto the apron to try to get an advantage here going to turn 1. And it looks like Ringler's going to let him on by here. Not going to push things too early, but you've got a new leader into turn 1. And that is John Schweikart aboard the LaRue Esports number 1. 9 laps in the books, new race leader. And it is your points leader who comes into the night with an 8 marker advantage over Will LaRue. Actually make that a 26 marker advantage over Claude Furland, who is second in the point standings. So right now your top 5, Schweikart, Trent Ringler, right there in your screen. You see just to the left of your screen is Senchek in 3rd. Alex LeBay's made a move to get himself up into the 4th spot, and Claude Furland has dropped a couple spots after starting 3rd. He's now up to position has slid back to position number 5. So these guys really logging laps here right now. We're going to pick up the battle here for position number 5. Will LaRue is closing in quick. And it looks like they got by Alex LeBay there for position. So LeBay's dropped a spot after starting 5th. He's now running 6th. You're right on board with him. Down the back straightaway here at Kansas, headed to turn number 3. And we'll watch the racing line here for LeBay. And he's taking it nice and easy down on the bottom side of the racetrack, taking the short way around the track, trying to take care of those tires. I think LeBay's going to be more than willing to give up just a little bit on this first fuel run to try and have decent tires here for the second half here of this first stage here tonight. Our stage break tonight comes at lap 60. And look at LaRue putting the pressure on Claude Furland here. Furland in the Accent LED sponsored 43, and look at LaRue getting that side draft. Pulls it all the way down to the grass along the apron, and he is going to try and take that spot to turn number 1. He'll go all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, and then he will start to migrate his way out toward the wall, and he will take over the spot. Move Will LaRue up into the top 5. And that move on Furland is going to put LaRue not only inside the top 5, but up to 4th. So that'll be the highest running spot here so far for LaRue. And for Will LaRue, it's been a tale of 2 seasons here in the first half of 2020-2021. This season got off to an absolutely horrible start for LaRue, as the first half of the season had a couple of good runs, but then things just started to trail off a little bit. LaRue started off the season with 2 top 5 finishes, but then a 19th, a 25th, and a 12th at Texas, Watkins Glen, and Pocono. And since that time, it's been 4th, 2nd, 2nd, and 2nd. So it's been 4 straight top 5 finishes here for Will LaRue. And he's got another good one going here tonight as he moves up to 4, and now Furland is going to have Alex LeBay in his crosshairs here to turns 3 and 4. Field to bring it off at turn 4, down along the apron, across start finish, as LaRue now starts to put a charge on Tom Senchek, as LeBay is going to poke the nose down to the inside and try to make a move here on Claude Furland. Out front, though, John Schweikart came into this race having led 125 laps on the season. And that's an impressive number, but he's not the lap leader coming into tonight. That driver is Trent Ringler, who led 90% of our race of 110 laps at Phoenix last week, as we've got to change for position here into turns 1 and 2. And that is LaRue working the outside lane. He's going to take 3rd away from Tom Senchek down the back straightaway. So Will LaRue took care of the tires early on, now starting to flex a little muscle here. We'll be waiting on that first pit stop of the night. I imagine we'll probably see that around anytime from lap 30 on. It would be my estimate that we'll see guys start to come around lap 30, 35. They'll try to split this first tire run in two. Come down about halfway through this run, get yourself just enough fuel to get you to lap number 60 at our stage break. And this was actually something that we saw play out at Phoenix last week. If you remember to the race or you were watching the broadcast with us last week, a lot of drivers actually did not take a lot of fuel on the first pit stop of the night. They took just enough to get to the stage break, and by doing so, they leapfrogged a bunch of drivers to either get inside the top 10 or inside of the top 5. And I imagine we're going to see some of that tonight as the season has gone on. Drivers and teams have really been ratcheting up the strategy here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series. And being that we're anywhere from 8 to 15 laps away from that first pit stop of the night, we want to make sure we hit all those pit stops. So we're going to step aside here. We'll get our first break out of the way here tonight from Kansas Speedway. You are watching the Blacktop Rivalz Series here on G-Force TV and 39 Productions.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. We've got our first pit stop of the night getting ready to take place for many of the drivers here inside of the top 5. Will LaRue was the first car to hit the pit lane, and it looks like John Schweikart is setting up to make his first pit stop of the night, and he will. So your race leader will now go to Trent Ringler, but the driver who brought us here to this round of pit stops, John Schweikart, will go 45 miles an hour down the pit lane. We'll go split screen. We'll keep an eye on your race leader, Ringler, on the left-hand side of your screen, and on the right-hand side of your screen, we'll watch John Schweikart and several other cars make their pit stop here. It was fuel only for Will LaRue, and it looks like it'll be the same here for John Schweikart. Several other cars, and Ringler will bring it down the pit lane now. And Ringler almost lost it coming into the pits here. So as we thought would be the case, fuel only for a lot of these drivers here on this first pit stop of the night. We won't see drivers taking tires wholesale until our lap 60 stage break. And John Schweikart back out onto the racetrack, and we will see how this shakes out here in terms of the race lead. Let's take a look back here at Ringler on his entry. Oh, wow. Dirt tracking it coming into pit lane. And boy, this is a tricky place. You know, you think of tracks that are very difficult as you're going to see Ringler is going to get the lead in the exchange here. Schweikart heavy on the gas here, though, through 3 and 4. Going to be a battle for the top spot, but Ringler looks like he's going to have it. So Ringler will assume the lead of the race after pit stops cycle through. We still have Claude Furland in the 43 who's just now coming back onto the racetrack after making his pit stop. So now that Furlan has made his pit stop, when we come across the start-finish line this time to put lap number 28 in the books, it will put Trent Ringler back out in front of the field. So Ringler leads here tonight for the second time tonight. He started on the pole, led the first 8 laps of this race until turning the lead over to John Schweikart. Claude Furland will be credited with a couple of laps led here tonight so far, but he has now turned the lead back over to Ringler on the pit site. Ringler coming up on the 35 of Adam Ross, as they will put Ross a lap down to the field. Ross out of Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. The Put It Out There, AdamOutThere.com sponsored 35 ride. Be sure to check out his Facebook page a little bit later this week, as he hosts the weekly Mindwell sessions, promoting the conversation and talking all things mental health. And I'll tell you, especially this time of year around the holidays, man, what a great topic to have a platform like that with Adam Ross and the crew. Be sure to check out the Mindwell sessions later this week. All right, we got a little bit of a new feature here we're going to debut tonight at Kansas. It's, if you're familiar with Fox Sports, it's a popular one. Let's go around the racetrack and crank it up. While we're checking in, I don't exactly have a report as to what happened, but Alex LeBay came down pit road for his first pit stop of the night and shut the car down and climbed from the car. He's now being scored 6 laps down to the field. So a little bit of a story there, and this would be the first time. We'll double check our stats here, but I think this is going to be the first time that LeBay has raced with us here in the 2020-2021 season that he hasn't scored inside of the top 10. As right now he scored 7 laps down in 15th. I don't know what happened to LeBay, but it looks like he is out of this race for tonight. Definitely one of the drivers that you would have factored into being a potential factor to win this race. But right now, Trent Ringler well out in front. Last time by 1.5 seconds. Back to Schweikart, and it remains there at 1.5 as we speak. And I think Ringler's starting to use the tires just a little bit more. So we've got your race leader on the right-hand side of your screen. That is Trent Ringler, and John Schweikart, your second place running car on the left-hand side. They're coming up on Jason Metcalf aboard the 29 ride. Metcalf will go a lap down to the field. And that will now leave us with only 10 cars on the lead lap here as we work lap number 35. So resetting the top 5 for you here. Trent Ringler is your race leader. John Schweikart, who's in your picture right now, he would be the white car, the number 1, headed down to the inside lane, working his way around Jason Metcalf in the 29. Third place as they run on the racetrack right now is Will LaRue. some 4.5 seconds back of the race leader, making his way off of turn number 2. Running in 4th place is Tom Senchek in the Widow Jane sponsored number 8. Working his way around the outside of the racetrack, 5.3 seconds behind your race leader. And right now, rounding out the top 5 is Claude Furland aboard the 43, who comes into the night 16 points. Make it 26 points in arrears to the point leader, John Schweikart, coming in tonight. Furland in the Accent LED sponsored 43. Great looking ride there for Claude Furland. In fact, his one of his teammates, Sylvain Joly, haven't mentioned Sylvain's name tonight. He is currently in position number 6 aboard the Accent LED 08. And right now we'll ride on board here with Furland as he makes his way around the racetrack. And everybody really working the outside portion of the racetrack all the way around, other than to come through the tri-oval where you'll see them right about here start to dip their way down to the apron, almost all the way to the grass sometimes. Oh, Schweikart in trouble there. Looked like that car was throwing sparks. Almost looked like he made some contact with the wall there in turn 2 that time. That or the car just got loose on corner exit for him. But he definitely lost some time as he's now 3 seconds behind the race leader, and boy, it looks like he did get into the fence. So Schweikart trying to hold on with a race car with 40 lap old tires, trying to make it to the lap 60 stage break. Riding on board here with Tom Senchek. All these cars out there in 4th gear, and it looked like he just got over 8,000 RPMs before hitting turn number 3, and a lot of these guys really just hanging on right now. Boy, do they get close to that wall. You could hear him actually back off the gas as that car was drifting out on him. And he's starting to close the gap here on Will LaRue, who runs 3rd. And we've seen this before from Senchek. He's very good at conserving the tires and having something in the back half of a run. And right now he is chasing down LaRue. LaRue's a young guy. He likes to get out there and be the rabbit. And sometimes on these long green flag runs like we're seeing here tonight, LaRue really jumps out there quick, but then as the run goes further and further, as LaRue had some, oh, LaRue's on pit lane. I don't know if he had a problem or what happened here. I think this is a little early to see them back on pit lane. Boy, we'll have to check on that at the stage break, but I don't know if he just didn't have enough gas or maybe got into the fence. We'll see here on the replay. Brad Ovens, our executive producer in the 39 Productions booth, checking in here with us. We saw that Senchek was closing in on him here in a hurry. just came down the pit lane. So there you have it. Now the question I have is, was that, I don't think he was on the pit lane very long, so we'll try and take a look, and because I'm pretty sure that was fuel only for him. But that was definitely earlier than what I would have expected to see him hit pit road. And it was fuel only. And it looked like he just did a splash and go there. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. And now here comes Tom Senchek down pit lane. Very, very interesting. You know, here's the other thing. You know, a lot of times in these mile-and-a-half tracks, we do see some yellow flag laps. You know, we usually have a caution or two. And we just haven't seen that tonight. It's been all green flag racing tonight. So maybe these guys just flat out don't have enough to get to the stage break. And now Senchek will bring it back out onto the racetrack. So that's going to mix up the running order for sure. So now we'll keep our eyes on Trent Ringler, your race leader out here in the 26 car. Does he have enough to go 11 more laps to make it to the end of the stage? I think Ringler took just as much, if not a little less, fuel than John Schweikart did, and we saw that Schweikart had to come down the pit road for fuel. He had to do a splash and go as well. And now with an 8-second lead, you start, and then we're riding on board, and you can hear how early Ringler's letting off the gas going into the corner. But he's right back on it here down the front straightaway, so I see a little conservation going on there, but not a lot, as now only the top 5 cars are on the lead lap. So many guys have already hit the pit lane or were a lap down already to the field. And so this is going to create a little bit of drama here with 9 to go until the stage break. Of course, the stage break, you get points for every position inside the top 10 at the stage break. And boy, for some guys like John Schweikart and Tom Senchek, they are not on the right end of those stage points right now as they run 8th and 9th. But again, Trent Ringler coming into the night has got 3 wins out of the last 4 races, trying to make it 4 out of 5, and trying to be the first driver here tonight that would win 2 in a row twice in the season. And now here comes Ringler down the pit road. So he did not have enough fuel to get to the stage break, and now he will come down pit road 45 miles an hour all the way to his pit box. That will hand the lead over to Claude Furland, who is also now on pit lane. So both of those drivers will pit here on lap number 52. And Ringler down to his pit box, and I'm going to guess here it's going to be a splash and go. Yep, splash and go there for Ringler. I'm sure it's going to be the same here for Furland. You don't want to take too much time. I was wondering if maybe somebody would take tires so that here at the stage break, all they'd have to do is come down and take on a little bit of fuel, but you're going to spend way too much time trying to change those tires. And now Sylvain Joly, who's running second, boy, he got on the apron quick there. I don't know if he's out of gas already. But here comes Joly, 45 miles an hour down the pit lane. And Trent Ringler still scored as the race leader. It's going to put Senchek, Schweikart, Steve Arvesay, Will LaRue, Mannix Richet. It's going to put all these cars back on the lead lap. As now we see Mannix Richet start to make his way. First time we've talked about Mannix tonight as he's actually exiting the pit road and rejoining the pack. So that's going to give a couple of those drivers an opportunity to get back on the lead lap here before tonight's stage break. And Trent Ringler will reassume the race lead here on lap number 53. Make it 54 to turn number 1. 6 to go until the stage break. Claude Ferlin showed in position number 2. Tom Senchek running in 3rd. Will LaRue 4th. John Schweikart now your top 5. And again, all these drivers on 54 lap, now make it 55 lap old tires. These drivers just trying to hang on. And we'll try to give you a little bit of a comparison. Trent Ringler timed in tonight with a time of 30.194. And right now, Ringler running his last lap by was a 32.591. So 32.591 compared to a 30.194. That is quite the difference. As Mannix Richet will drive by Ringler, that'll put Richet back on the lead lap. And I do wonder if Richet didn't take tires on this pit stop, because he just drove by Ringler like Ringler was screwed to the ground. Lap number 57 in the books now. Got our eyes on Claude Ferlin running in position number 2. Some 9.3 seconds behind your race leader, Trent Ringler. Looks like Tom Senchek and Will LaRue got a good battle going on here. Actually, I guess Senchek working around lap machine, as he's got a car just ahead of him going to turn 3. And that looks like the 29 of Jason Metcalf. Metcalf had a nice start to the season, had a top 5 finish to start the year at Las Vegas, has a best finish of 2nd at Watkins Glen, and is coming off a top 10 effort, a 10th place finish at Phoenix last week. Senchek running right behind him there. Senchek running in 3rd. Has had a pretty good run here. A little bit of a bounce back effort after a couple of poor finishes. Senchek has bounced back with 2 top 5s here with a 5th and a 4th. And we are now on the final lap here of stage number 1, and it's still Trent Ringler, 8.8 seconds ahead of Claude Ferland, as he will come down to the line this time. Lap number 60 will go on the board, and the caution will come out. Stage 1 is in the books, and stage 1 winner tonight is Trent Ringler. So Trent Ringler, who has been the dominant force here over the last 4 races, 3 wins and a 3rd over the last 4 races for Trent Ringler. And with tonight's stage break and the yellow coming out, we will step aside. We'll get our second break out of the way here tonight. And when we come back, we'll tell you about the pit stops, and we'll get you ready for the green flag in stage number 2 here at the Kansas Speedway. You're watching live coverage here on G-Force TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Koni shock absorbers. From street shocks to adjustable race dampers and even truck shocks, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway, round number 10 of the 2020-2021 season here for the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. Steve Ovens here with the call for you tonight on G-Force TV in conjunction with 39 Productions. I want to give a shout out to Caldecott Millwright Services, our primary sponsor here for the fall 2020 season. The McAllister family, located in Hanover, Ontario, Canada. The Caldecott Millwright Services offers engineering, welding, and pipe fitting, industrial and commercial plumbing, as well as millwrighting and industrial maintenance. Be sure to check them out. They even offer health and safety training if you need that for your employees or your job site. Well, it is the fall finale, as they say here, for the 2020 Blacktop Rivalz Series season. We'll get things kicked back up in a couple of weeks after the holiday, and let us be the first on behalf of G-Force TV and 39 Productions to wish you and yours a very happy holiday over these next couple of weeks, as we'll be taking some time off here from the Blacktop Rivalz Series broadcast. We'll be back with you in January, and looking forward to it. We've had a lot of great action here so far this season, a lot of strategy being played out, a lot of drivers flexing their iRacing muscle, and it's been a lot of fun to cover all the action here as we are under the yellow flag. Stage 1 in the books. Let's see if we can't dial up your Stage 1 winner tonight. And that, of course, is the driver of the 26, and that is Trent Ringler. And we'll see if we can get a word here with Trent. Trent and Steve Ovens in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Tell us, that was interesting here tonight. No yellow flags in Stage 1, and it required some guys to come back down and get a little splash and go.
Yeah, we couldn't quite make it without 2 stops. Same thing for this last run, so boy, I guess it'd be close if you saved, but yeah, I haven't put on my first set of tires yet. I'm going to do that at lap 80, I guess.
Oh, okay, so you're still on the original tires right now.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. How is the car handled with that?
It's really free. They're 4 out.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you here on this restart.
All right, thank you.
Wow. Trent Ringler looking for a little bit of a challenge, I think, here. He did not take tires at the stage break. I am shocked by that. Green flag is back out. And if he can hold on to the kind of lead he had before the stage break on 64 lap-old tires, I am going to be impressed. Let's watch him as he works off a turn 2, and oh, look out, we've got a wreck off of turn 2. Claude Ferland absolutely hammers the inside wall. And I think it was contact between Ferland and Will LaRue. And right off the drop of the green flag in Stage 2, we get our first incident on the track to put us under the yellow. Oh, man. We're going to have all sorts of looks at this one for you. But I will say Ringler was in trouble coming off of turn 2 because Ferland's got 4 Dr. Feelgood strapped on that 43, and he was coming like a freight train off of turn 2. Let's take a look at the replay. Ferland is starting on the outside lane, and he closes on Ringler so fast. He tried to make a move to the inside, but Will LaRue was there. And look, oh man, Claude absolutely hammered the wall. Driver's side against the wall. got to be just a ton of damage on that 43 ride, as that car is tore up. Couple of guys making pit stops here. Steve Arvise coming down the pit lane, and there you see the contact right there. Oh, man. What a lick on the inside wall. If we've got time, I really would love to see the onboard there of Will LaRue. It happened so fast. It didn't look like LaRue had any time to react to that at all. We're going to get one more look at it here. And here they are right off the restart. And like I said, Furlan starts out to the outside lane, and he's got 4 tires, and he closed in on Ringler in a hurry. And look at Furlan, tried to make the move, thought he had him cleared, and just enough to get the 43 turned. Man. What a way to kick off stage number 2. Tough break there for Claude Furlan, trying to make a move for the race lead. And Ringler staying out on those tires, and I'm just interested to see how this is going to shake out for the rest of this race. Actually, Ringler may, yeah, I'm not surprised. Ringler is going to come down the pit lane, and I would have to almost guarantee, I'd put my mortgage payment on it, Ringler's going to put 4 tires on that car after just seeing what happened on that restart. Tires made a huge difference on that restart. Schweikart is down the pit lane. Will LaRue is on pit road. LaRue may even have a little damage on that right front fender. And boy, that could make a big difference in handling in the corners here at this 1.5 miles at Kansas. And 4 tires the call for Ringler. Looked like it was fuel only for Schweikart and LaRue. They're going to try and make sure that they fuel up to stay on the same strategy here with Ringler as far as fuel goes. So we are working caution here on lap number 67. And that's going to turn the lead over to Sylvain Joly. Second time we've gotten to call Sylvain's name here tonight. And now it is for the fact that Sylvain has taken over the race lead. And I think Sylvain, coming off of a career-best run with the Blacktop Rivalz Series, a 3rd place finish at Phoenix last week. He was really, really pumped up about that. Teammate to Claude Furlan and Mannix Richet. Joly aboard the Instadel XN LED, that purple People Eater 08 machine. Got a great run going here tonight, and it just goes to show you keep your nose clean. Don't go too far outside of the box on pit strategy, and you can find yourself leading one of these races here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series, but starting to his outside is going to be Tom Senchek aboard the Widow Jane sponsored 8 machine. He'll be having some Widow Jane on the rocks later on tonight. Tom Senchek, a 2-time winner here in the fall of 2020. Jason Metcalf, who not too long ago we were talking about being a lap down. That's how much this race has flip-flopped. Metcalf now running in 3rd aboard the TCB Trailers 29. And starting to his outside, the Instadel XN LED number 6 is Mannix Richet. And right now rounding out your top 5 in the Discount Tires number 2 is Steve Arvise. So coming back to green, it'll be 69 laps in the books when they cross the start-finish line. Joly will bring us back to the restart zone. He will fire, and we're back underway. So now keep an eye on Ringler, Will LaRue, and Schweikart, because they're going to be coming through the pack like world beaters. 4 tires and now enough gas to get them as far as they need to go, hopefully, to just make it on one more stop for fuel in this race. And here comes Schweikart with a big run down to the inside. He'll go by Senchek, and now he's going to try and get Jolie off of turn 4 could not get it done. Jolie is still there to his outside, headed to turn number 1. Jolie's not going to let him get it that easy, as Schweikart will now pull the slider off of turn number 2, and Schweikart will take the race lead. He actually did lead at the start-finish line, working the inside lane by 35 one-thousandths of a second. So Schweikart back to the point on lap number 70. LaRue will take over third away from Tom Senchek, and now here comes Trent Ringler and Steve Arvesay in Senchek's rear view mirror. Ringler pounded the inside lane off of turn 2. He'll slide back into line there with LaRue. Right now, Ringler in position number 4. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to get back up to the top spot. And a lot of that having to do with not taking tires at the stage break. Although he did catch a quick yellow so he could come down and get those tires. But he sacrificed 3, 4, maybe 5 spots in track position to do it. But now he's got such a good car, though. A good handling race car will overcome just about anything. As he'll now move up to second, Will LaRue will take it back down to his inside. Trying to take second back away, but Ringler just powers around the outside. And he'll hold on to 2, and now he'll go after Schweikart for the lead. So the 2 dominant cars here in the fall season are going to duke it out now. Off at turn number 2, 73 laps in the books of tonight's 120 lapper. Round number 10 of the Blacktop Rivalz Series, presented by Caldecott Millwright Services. And Ringler now will kind of go into patience mode as we are on the Caldecott Millwright Services onboard cam. And you hear Ringler burp the throttle just a little bit, and it gets him a run here on Schweikart. As Schweikart had a little handling problem there in the center of the corner. Ringler closes in, he'll go down to the inside, and he's going to try and duke it out here with Schweikart off of turn 4 for the race lead. Schweikart has all the momentum, though, on the outside, and Schweikart will now pull down to the apron to block, so he'll hold on to the lead. LaRue is caught right to the back bumper of Ringler, and look at Ringler. That's the difference right now for Trent Ringler, is how well that car rotates through the center of the corner. Watching from the drone cam here, and let's watch him into 3 and 4. Right about here is where Ringler can really rotate the middle and get such a good run. He hasn't gotten a good enough run to get up alongside, but he can get within a half a car length. And if you can just do that lap after lap after lap, you got to wait for that leader to make a mistake, as it looked like Schweikart got just a little bit outside and opened up the door for Ringler one more time. We've got a good battle here going on for the race lead. We've got a good battle going on for 4th. We're going to stick with the race lead here, as 3 cars nose to tail under a blanket to turn 1. And Will LaRue's got a real strong race car right now. This is about the best. Actually, we'll put that battle for 4th over on the left-hand side of your screen, as Senchek and Jolie have been battling here. They were side by side for a couple of laps, as Senchek will hold on to 4, Jolie's back to 5. Colin McNichol right behind them in 6th. As Colin McNichol, a teammate, and now McNichol is going to get by Jolie, and that'll move Colin McNichol up to the top 5 for the first time tonight. McNichol, a teammate of your 2nd place running car, Trent Ringler, there in the center of your screen. And McNichol's had some pretty good runs on his own right here. He's been in the top 10 the last 3 races in a row. Had a 4th place finish at Watkins Glen and a 2nd place effort at Pocono for McNichol aboard car number 82. Right now in the top 5 here. Field starting to stretch out just a little bit here. 1/10.5 is the lead for John Schweikart. And you can see just what that difference is. And look at Ringler close the gap off of turn 2. Oh, baby, what a run Ringler got off the corner. Couldn't do anything with it. He'll tuck it in line. And you can hear how good Ringler's car is. Let's listen to him going down into 1 and 2. He's going to pick up the gas when that car sticks. Well, let's take a listen. So turns 1 and 2, you could hear that he was really able to pick up the gas real quick going into 1 and close the gap. But if you remember into turns 3 and 4, he had to really hesitate on the gas because he picked up a little bit of a push. Might have been an arrow push off the back of the 1 car. And he couldn't quite keep it in the gas as long as he wanted to. And that could be something that he's going to struggle with here as the laps continue to click off here before we hit our final pit stop of the night. Working down the back straightaway, 83 laps in the books. Will LaRue looking like he might want to try and make a move here on Ringler, but cannot do so. And it looks like they're coming up on the lap machine just ahead of them. As you'll start to see Nathan Christensen. Christensen going to keep it all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The Ford EcoBoost sponsored 05 machine. As all 3 of those cars will get by. Nate Christensen, a new driver here to the Blacktop Rivalz Series. Started competing with us a couple of races into the season and really doing a nice job holding his own here tonight. Running in position number 11, and that would be a best finish of the season for him if he can hold on for 11th here at race's end. 85 laps in, 35 to go. We're closing in on the last pit stop of the night, and before we get to that point, let's step aside here. We'll pay a few bills, and when we come back, we'll show you those final pit stops of the night and take you the rest of the way to the checkered flag. You're watching the Blacktop Rivalz Series here from Kansas Speedway.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway. Coverage tonight brought to you by the Ashwegan Speedway Race Source. Your source for all things cars, parts, and accessories. Whether you've got a weekly 360 sprint car at the Big O or you've got an action sprint tour 305, nobody has more wins, nobody has more experience than those at the Ashwegan Speedway Race Source. Stop in and visit them, located right on the property of the Ohsweken Speedway. Well, we've had a change for position number 2. Look at Will LaRue. The LaRue Esports, LaRue Snowblowers 55 machine. And now he's going after his teammate here for the race lead. So something has changed on the 26 of Ringler. He is not the dominant car that he once was. Here in this race, he dominated the first half of this show. But now Will LaRue, and Will LaRue is making me eat my words from earlier in this race. We talked, he loves to be the rabbit. Get out to a nice advantage early and use those tires up. Let's see how he made the move. Ringler tried to make a move down to the inside of John Schweikart, and it opened up the door for LaRue, and he was able to fill the gap coming off of turn 2 to take over second. And I have to believe that either the handling has started to go away for Ringler, it's gotten a little aero tight, running right up on the back bumper of the cars in front of him. Something's changed because it's not the dominant car it was early in this race. 91 laps on the board. That'll give us 29 to go. And we're still expecting one more pit stop as LaRue gets loose off of 2. He'll go down to the inside of the racetrack, and Ringler will go by to retake the second spot. So now the handling's starting to go away. You can start to see the back ends of these cars starting to slip and slide and move all over the place. As these drivers still have one set of tires left that they can use. And right now, John Schweikart holding on for dear life, trying to hold Ringler back. Let's take a look at this move on board here with Ringler. And boy, Will LaRue tried to shut the door, but the car got loose, and Ringler was there to fill that gap. So almost a mirror image of how LaRue got by Ringler for a second. He put the move back on him. So John Schweikart, Trent Ringler, Will LaRue, Sylvain Joly, and Colin McNichol, the top 5, although Mannix Richet just moved up to 4th. Just got by. Oh, Schweikart coming down the pit lane. Green flag pit stops. And boy, did he have to hustle that car into the pit. So John Schweikart, 45 miles an hour down the pit lane. Final pit stop of the night. Coming on lap number 94. Ringler now working his way through turns 3 and 4. And Schweikart trying to pit early here to try and get an extra lap on Ringler and LaRue. Is now Ringler and LaRue. Boy, LaRue really fast, and LaRue's around. Will LaRue with a mistake coming on the pit lane. Here for the final pit stop of the night. You saw the back end come around on him, and he's going to lose a ton of time here on this final pit stop. John Schweikart, 4 tires and fuel, down and away. That'll be his final stop of the night. He will get that thing back up to speed just as fast as he can here down the American Ethanol back straightaway. Michael Liguori down and away. First time we've called Michael's name here tonight. Making his final pit stop. As Schweikart got all sorts of loose coming off a turn 4 that time. Senchek closes up to the back bumper, and there's Trent Ringler just ahead of him. Senchek. Oh, look at them. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead down the back straightaway. Ringler's going to lose some time to him. John Schweikart scored as the race leader here on lap number 96. 24 to go here from Kansas Speedway. Senchek, who's kind of been a snake in the weeds tonight, runs in second here with 0.2 of a second back. Let's take a look here at the replay of Will LaRue, and And you could see it visually just coming into the pits way too hot. Tried to get on the brakes, but here at Kansas, you're not really straight as you're braking the car to hit that that timing line where you have to be down to 45 miles an hour, and you could see it, man. He was coming so quick. You don't want to slam on the brakes because the car will come around from underneath you. But unfortunately, it just happened anyway. And now for John Schweikart, that coming down pit road a lap before Ringler did. Now you can see the gap. It even allowed Tom Senchek to take over the second spot, and right now, Ringler is having a tough time getting around Senchek for the runner-up spot as they'll battle into turn number 1. Ringler right now with the preferred groove around the outside, and he'll take over second, but not before losing a full second to John Schweikart out front. Still a long way to go here. 22 left. It'll be 21 laps to go this time by, so still a ways to go. But if you're John Schweikart, you can't be disappointed with a 1-second lead at this stage of the race, having just made your final pit stop of the night. They've taken all the tires they can take, so even if we get a yellow here, we won't see cars back down pit lane again unless they get close on fuel, which I don't expect that they will. Everybody should be good to go, even for a green-white checkered if necessary. But Trent Ringler, look at him close the gap. He just took a 1-second deficit and cut it 0.6 of a second now. He cut 0.4 off that time. And look at him close the gap now on Schweikart. Oh, Schweikart's going to be a sitting duck here. I think Ringler made an adjustment on that last pit stop. Look at him. Oh, man, so fast back on the gas. Barely burped the throttle into 3. Oh, man. Ringler pouring it on here with 19 to go. So in 2 consecutive laps, the lead went from 1 second to 0.6 of a second down to 1/10.5. And that'll bring Ringler back to the back bumper of Schweikart. And so now, here's the question. Does Ringler get really aggressive to try and take the lead? Does he sit back and maybe let Schweikart use his tires up ahead of him and try to make a move late in the race? What happens here? Boy, Schweikart is all sorts of loose in the center of the corner, and that could be the opening for Ringler as he's going to dive down to the inside. Lap cars are ahead. You've got lap machines now racing side by side off of turn 4. That is Jason Metcalf and Michael Ligori, and here come the race leaders. Oh, it's going to get intense here to turn number 1 as now the lap machines will get themselves in single file order. Ligori down to the inside, Metcalf to the top side. Here comes Ringler down to the bottom. Battle for the race lead off of turn 2. Schweikart and Ringler, the 2 dominant cars on this series, battling it out here to turn 3. Ringler had to fall back into line as they'll get by Metcalf in the 29, but still a great race for the lead here. Coming up on 16 laps to go. Boy, the racing has been good tonight. We've had so many stories throughout the night here. Schweikart now back out to a 0.2 of a second advantage over second place Trent Ringler. We talked about a big story early in the race, and that was Alex Labbe, who had a problem of some kind here tonight, made his first pit stop for fuel, and they had some kind of problem, climbed from the car, called it a night, and he is currently 79 laps down to the field, shown in last and 15th position. And now for Trent Ringler, as the laps start to click off. What is Ringler going to do? Is he going to try and play it conservative and make a move here late in the going? Is he going to try to make the move now and hold on to the lead? He's looking like he wants to make a move. And even though it looks like Schweikart's battling a loose race car, he has the preferred groove, and it's going to take a big, big move for Ringler to get by. We saw in the last tire run that Ringler had a little bit of an issue getting aero tight, getting real close to the back bumper of Schweikart and developing a little bit of a tight condition in the corner, not allowing him to make a move. But here for Schweikart, he's just going to try and keep that car pinned to the outside and play blocker car here to try and hold on to the race lead, because Ringler's going to have an absolute monster run to try and make a move and clear Schweikart in the corner. And I think we just saw a little bit of that tight condition entering the corner as Ringler was able to get up to the bumper, but when Schweikart hauled it off into the corner, he was able to put a little bit of a distance between himself and Ringler. And right now you can see just how happy the back end of the Schweikart 1 car is getting in the center of the corner. But he's got so much momentum on the outside of the racetrack, he's able to make it work. Ringler pokes the nose down to the inside again. Schweikart is there to try and block that effort as Ringler gets out of shape going into 1. Loses a little bit of ground, but he's back on the gas here off of turn number 2. Trying to close in again. Coming up on a couple of lap cars here to turn number 3. Boy, this is getting exciting here. Coming up on 10 laps to go. Can Schweikart hold on? Schweikart, who hasn't won since Pocono 5 races ago, wants to get back in the win column. He's been the dominant car this year. He's led a ton of laps. Only has 2 wins to show for it. He wants to get another one here tonight. And then for Ringler, man, that story writes itself. He's won 3 out of the last 4. He won 2 in a row before finishing 3rd at Daytona and getting a win last week at Phoenix in an absolutely dominant performance, leading 90% of last week's 110-lap race. But now the laps start to click off. 9 laps to go this time at the line. Coming up on 8 to go, and Ringler is putting the pressure on Schweikart right to the back bumper to turn number 3. Can John Schweikart be perfect for 8 more laps? It's going to take a perfect effort to keep that 26 car behind him. 0.2 of a second is the advantage. You see it visually there on your screen, but in terms of timing and scoring, 0.2 of a second is the gap. Coming up on Ringler's teammate, Colin McNichol, running in position number 6. Right now we've got 6 cars on the lead lap, and as they get ready to work on by McNichol, they're going to put it now to be 5 cars on the lead lap. Schweikart moves down to the inside. He'll put McNichol a lap down. Here now with 7 laps to go. So the lap car almost made a difference there for Schweikart that time. As, oh man, Ringler was right there to the back bumper. Rolling through turns 3 and 4. Schweikart trying to keep that car as straight as he can. As the runs have gone on, Schweikart's car has tended to get just a little bit loose in the corner. As now Ringler dips down to the apron, tries to close the gap into turn number 1. Now he's going to dip down to the inside again here as they bring it off of turn 2. Ringler trying to get position to turn number 3. Could not get it done. It's still Schweikart. 114 laps on the board. They'll come down to put lap number 115 on the board this time. 5 laps to go here at Kansas. And here we go. Mano y mano. the two dominant drivers in the Blacktop Rivalz Series. They're going to settle it here tonight in an old Kansas shootout. The tires are worn. They've got just enough gas to make it the rest of the way. You know, both of these cars have got great setups underneath them. But now the question is, who is going to get up on top of the wheel here with 4 to go and take charge of this race to get the race win? Schweikart into turn number 3. Ringler is right there with him, and Ringler just hasn't been able. He has been trying lap after lap, but he has just not had an opening. But now he's starting to get a nice draft here to turn number 1. Ringler, oh, he's going to have to tuck it back into line. 3 laps to go. I don't think I've called the last 15 laps of a race this close in a long time. Here's Ringler trying to make a move down the back straightaway. Cannot get there. It's still Schweikart. If John Schweikart can hold on for 2 more laps, man, what an effort he has put in here tonight. As he has done everything he's had to do to hold off Trent Ringler. But the time to show your cards for Trent Ringler is now. What do you have left in the tank? Here's Ringler sideways down the back straightaway, trying to pull up alongside Schweikart to turn number 3. Side by side into 3 they'll go. It's still Schweikart to the outside lane, and Ringler will tuck back into line. Coming down to the line, lap number 119 goes in the books. White flag is out here at Kansas. Is it going to be Schweikart or is it going to be Ringler? 1.5 miles to go to turn number 1. Schweikart with a nice advantage. He had 2.5 tenths of a second at the start-finish line, and down the back straightaway for the final time they'll go. Does Ringler have a run? He's going to go down to the inside lane. He's going to try to pull the slide job into 3 and 4, but Schweikart is there. Ringler will pull up to the back bumper, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to win it here at Kansas? Oh, it's Ringler. Ringler got by Schweikart. I think Schweikart ran out of gas. Oh, my goodness. I think Schweikart ran out of gas. Holy cow. I'm speechless. Schweikart runs out of petrol coming off of turn number 4. And now winning 4 out of the last 5 is Trent Ringler. A heartbreaker here at Kansas. I can't even believe what I just saw. We're going to step aside and gather our thoughts. When we come back, we're going to talk to, I'm sure, a shocked driver and a very disappointed driver. Stay tuned. You're watching the Blacktop Rivalz here from Kansas. Holy cow.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they're made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Man, welcome back to Kansas Speedway. I'm still shocked. I cannot believe what I just saw. Trent Ringler picks up the win here at Kansas as John Schweikart runs out of gas coming off of turn number 4. We're gonna go ahead and bring the race winner in here. I cannot even believe what I just saw. Trent Ringler, you've got to be as shocked as anybody right now.
Yeah, John ran out of gas.
I mean, it seemed like we were probably trying to will you to the win. You were trying high, low, wherever you had to go to try and make a move, and it just didn't seem like you were going to have enough. And then, my goodness, coming off of 4.
Yeah, I guess the key to that race was being in the spot to take advantage of that.
Tell us about the last 20 laps of that race. I mean, it just seemed that what was it getting like an arrow push? Was that kind of what you were struggling with there?
I was tight entry into 3. John could roll through entry to center in 3 and 4. So he was getting through 3 and 4 way better than I could. But I was a lot better in 1 and 2. So kind of evened out, but you can't make a pass out of 1 and 2. You get the inside, you just can't complete it down low. So at least I couldn't being tight like I was on entry anyway. So.
Well, we're watching the replay here, and you tried to make a move down the inside, and right there, Schweikart. Just as you guys kind of bring it off of turn 4 and out toward the wall, right where you get to where the wall is, that's where he ran out of gas. And I mean, the stretch run to the checkered flag, I just couldn't believe it. I can't imagine what you must have been thinking.
It was a lot of fun. I was thinking I was a little faster than he was. If I could get around him, I'd be good. But it's so tough to pass here.
Oh, it definitely is.
Over it in hard.
And you know what we saw a couple of times tonight too is not only is this a tough track to make a lot of passes on, this is also a very tough place to get onto pit road as well.
It was. I babied it in every time, made sure I didn't loop it or get any speeding penalties, because you're right, it is kind of tough and kind of awkward to get in.
One last, it's not so much a question as maybe a comment, but we talked to you after winning stage 1, and you told us that you didn't take tires on the pit stop. I saw that it didn't take long for you to realize that maybe tires was the way to go.
Got into the fuel window with that caution.
Okay.
Again, so as you see, we just made it in that fuel window, so it was really tight. I was saving on that, coming to the green. I was saving the whole way, shutting it off. And I don't know if John was. Maybe that was just a little bit of difference.
How about you being able to tuck into line with him? Do you think that plays a factor at all, or no?
Oh, absolutely, sure. And I was getting out of the throttle before he was coming on into entry, both ends.
Okay.
That played a little difference. I had about a lap and a half left.
Wow. Just incredible stuff, man. Congratulations. And we've been talking about it all night long. 4 out of the last 5 now. I mean, this 26 car has just been on fire. Tell us about the folks that helped make it happen.
Everybody at FSR, they all do a great job. And with this new build, it was a lot of work this week. So we made some big gains.
Awesome, man. Great job here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, there's your race winner, Trent Ringler, and I don't even know what else you can say. Let's bring in our second place finisher here tonight, John Schweikart. And John, man, I'm still speechless. I tried to interview Trent, and I can't believe what we just saw.
Yeah, it doesn't always go your way, does it, man?
No, it certainly doesn't. And I thought Trent in the first half of the race showed just how strong he was. And I was so impressed with how in the second, after stage 1 here in the final stage tonight, how and I don't know if it was adjustments on pit road or if it was just being able to take those tires when you needed them, but your car was a different car in the second half of the race, to the point where you had the preferred line and you could keep him behind you.
In the first half, when we set sail at the drop of the green flag, I went up there and passed Trent and gapped him for a little bit. But then I realized I better back up my speed because we only had 2 sets of tires and we had 120 laps. So the math didn't make sense to even pit for tires before lap 60. Like, we had to pit for fuel, but we had to hang on. So after that first stop, me and Will, we were just hanging on for dear life. I literally felt like I was at a dirt car track at, a mile and a half. But then after the caution there for the stage break, yeah, it was game on because we had both sets of tires, and me and Will tried to save some fuel. And then I don't know what it is about my car. I don't know if this is just a consistent thing, because even Claude and Sylvan and them can always go longer in fuel, but I'm always a lap short than everybody, and I had to pit when I did, and Trent and Will were able to stay out an extra lap. And then there, that last run, I was just trying to save fuel. I could gap him through 3 and 4 hard, but then I would like try and drag, a little off the throttle, let him catch up, keep that preferred line. I was trying to save every drop I possibly could.
So you knew it was close? I mean, did you know it was going to be that close to actually run out? What kind of indicators did you have there?
Yeah, with 15 to go, I started looking and I was kind of glancing down the backstretch. It was my only chance to really take a quick breather, and I could see that the math was not adding up.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then so that's what I was trying to do. Like, if I got 2/10 on him, like I would get the run through 3 and 4, drag let off the throttle a little bit, go like 90, 85%, let him catch back up to me as we're heading into 1, and then just kind of like paddle it a little bit and maintain that distance. I felt like I was pretty even with him. If we'd have just had to been able to run straight up, I could have tightened my car up and we'd have let's see what happens. But you know what? It doesn't always work that way.
No, and you come into 3 and 4 on the final lap, and about the time that you get out to the wall in turn 4, like at that point, if I'm in your shoes, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, hey man, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make it, and then the damn thing cuts out.
2 laps to go, I turned my fuel off. I was tired of looking at it.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was praying to God that I could get off 4 and maybe it'd like choke, right at the start finish line. But when it came off 4, it actually sputtered once, like right at the exit of 4, and then it sputtered 2-3 more times. He was already on my inside. I just heard him going. I mean, there was nothing you could do at that point.
Well, let's focus forward. You're coming off of runs of 20th, 9th, and 14th. A second place effort here to close out the fall portion of the season is a nice way to head back into January.
Yeah, this was a nice little way, after the Road to Pro and NIS season. This was a nice little fall break where we could just work on some sets, work on some speed, try some new things, and start getting geared up for the RTP and NIS for next season. So, and plus with this league, it's such a great group of guys. Adam runs a good show. Every driver in here has made leaps and bounds and gains, and I absolutely love racing with them.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you along for the ride here for 2020 as we wrap up the 2020 portion tonight, and a great run here for second tonight.
Hey, thanks, man. My goal is always to try and make it exciting for you guys and put on a show. So hopefully your viewers enjoyed it. Your guys' broadcast is the best out here, so we really enjoy going back and watching and seeing your product, and hopefully everybody else enjoys it too.
All right, man. Well, it's not very often that a racer makes me speechless, but you found a way to do it tonight. So hopefully you'll at least enjoy. I know it wasn't the result you wanted tonight, but man, just incredible stuff tonight. We'll see you in 2021.
Thanks, guys, and have a good holidays.
All right, there's John Schweikart. You can hear the disappointment in his voice, man, and I don't blame him. What a run he had tonight, just to come up, a couple 100 yards short. Hey, let's talk to Will LaRue. Here's another guy that we've talked about here the last couple of weeks who's really been turning it on. He came into tonight here at Kansas with 3 second place finishes in a row. He ends 2020 with a 3rd place finish. Will, tell us about your ride. At one point there, before that last pit stop, I thought you were going to be a contender for the win because you looked better than Trent and John there before that pit stop.
Yeah, I did a couple adjustments to the setup. It was a bit too loose for the first rounds. I mean, we did like 60 laps on the same set, and I think 29 tread remaining on the right rear and 62 on the right front. So with that said, I did some changes, and it felt really good on the second part of the race until I almost ran out of fuel and had to pit and screwed up entering pit road.
So it's kind of a collection of things that all kind of came together at once for you there.
Yeah, kind of. It's like I didn't know if I was gonna make it one more. Like John pitted just before, and I didn't know if I was gonna make it exactly one more lap. And I guess I made it, but I spun out like like a rookie.
Well, those things, and I was talking to Trent about this too. This isn't the easiest place to get on pit road either, because the entry point is still mid corner, and you're trying to get the car woed down to get to pit road speed, but you're still in the middle of a turn as well.
Yeah, it's really tricky because it's really flat and it's turning in the same time. So yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Well, man, you rounded out the 2020 portion of our schedule here with 4 straight finishes on the podium. A great way to send us off into 2021, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here in 2021. Tell us about the folks that are on board of your effort here.
First of all, John, thanks for working on pretty much all the setups during the season. I helped him, but he did the most of the job. And I gotta thank my sponsor, doing the best snowblowers in the world. You're gonna need one, especially this winter. So
yeah, and it sounds like we're gonna need them pretty soon too.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, great job here tonight. Podium effort here, and we'll see you in 2021.
See you.
All right, there's your top 3 finishers. What a night. What a night. I mean, these guys ran, and for, a lot of the time, they were trying to put themselves into position, and it's just crazy that it all comes down to the final lap in turn 4 and having not even a laundry detergent cap full of fuel to try to get down to the end. But Trent Ringler, he was there in position to take advantage, and he'll get a win here. 4 out of the last 5 here with the Blacktop Rivalz Series. On behalf of everybody here with GeForce TV, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, Spencer Mullen, everybody that works behind the scenes, as well as our executive producer, Brad Ovens in the 3-9 Production Studios. My name is Steve Ovens, the voice of the Blacktop Rivalz Series, saying thank you for joining us. We will see you in 2021. Congratulations to tonight's shocking winner off of turn number 4, Trent Ringler.
What you want to do is when you're on your computer or on your cell phone, whatever it is, go to GeForceTV.net, type that in your browser, and that will take you right to the official YouTube page of GeForce TV. And down to the right-hand side, you'll see the big red subscribe button. Make sure you click on that. But don't stop there. Once you've subscribed, then you want to make sure you hit the little ringer to the right. That's the notification bell. And anytime there's new content uploaded to GeForce TV, you'll get a notification, whether it be on your computer, on your device, whatever it is, you'll know when there is content. And as we've been saying, it's so important when you're watching these videos on YouTube or for the meantime on Facebook, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, make sure you're sharing these links, and that helps the actual content grow and populate throughout YouTube, specifically for the GeForce channel. This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave chicken wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Koni shock absorbers. From street shocks to adjustable race dampers and even truck shocks, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Introducing G-Force TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, G-Force TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. G-Force TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, G-Force TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and G-Force TV racing leagues. G-Force TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on G-Force TV.
This is a copyrighted production of 39 Productions, www.39designcompany.com, and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of 39 Productions. The opinions expressed in this programming are those of the host, co-host, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and/or ownership of either 39 Productions, the advertisers, or our marketing partners.